So let's get started. Blogging for business. The first thing you're probably asking yourself is, why would I want to blog? Seems like a lot of work, seems like a lot of effort, seems like time I don't have, so what am I going to get out of it? Well, there's a lot of reasons why you would want to blog. It's a great way to show your expertise. So certainly if you're in a service type business, it's a way to show your skill level. It's also a great way to stay in touch with your clients, so increase that engagement with your clients and your prospects. You can post specials, you can answer questions, use it for technical support, so customer service and retention, also excellent tool for that. But really and truly, the number one answer, the real reason why you want to blog for business, it is simply the fastest way to get more people, more traffic on your website. Companies with a business blog attract 55% more visitors than a company without a blog on their website. So think about that. 55% more visitors. Let's put that in numbers for you. Would you rather have 18 visitors, as we saw a second ago, or the 40 visitors we see filling into the screen now? That's right, 18 versus 40. That's a pretty big change. And selling 18 pieces a day versus 40 pieces a day is going to make a big difference in your bottom line. So that's why you want to blog, honestly, is to bring more traffic in. The question is, how do you do it effectively so that you can ensure that what you're doing will bring that traffic in? And the answer is keywords. Keywords are the key to success in blogging. Keywords are so effective because they tell you what people are talking about so that you can write about that on your blog. It basically gives you an insight to your customers, to your prospects, to what's in the hearts and minds of your consumers so that you can create your content to match that. You get the inside secret. What the keyword tools that are out there will help you to figure out is popularity versus competition. So basically with keywords, what you're looking at is how popular a keyword, how often is it searched, versus how many people are competing for it. So what you see here is it's 1 versus the million that we're looking at on the screen. You want to find things that a lot of people are searching for. If only one person's searching for it online, even if you're the top one, that's still not going to bring you the kind of traffic you're looking for. That's not that extra 55% we mentioned earlier. But also some of those bigger terms may be really competitive. Examples like in the insurance industry, if you're looking at homeowners insurance, auto insurance, or even homeowners and life and auto, those are going to be really competitive terms because you've got some pretty big national corporations that you're going to be competing with, like State Farm and Allstate and those guys. And so it's going to be pretty difficult to rank for those very large terms because you don't have the budget or the resources to compete with those big guys. So that is not only high popularity but also high competitiveness. So maybe not the greatest of terms. But what our keyword research can help us find is the terms we call the long tail keywords, which are basically words that are less competitive but still have a fair number of searches. So an example of that may be a specific type question like how to choose life insurance. So that may have probably not as many as just the generic blanket term life insurance searches, but it also may not have as much competition, so you could create a page or an article within your blog specifically with that title answering that question, and you would get that traffic to your site. So that's the long tail keyword. Has a good number of searches, not as many as the top, but it's also less competitive, and those are the words we're really looking for. If it's really popular and really competitive, again, it's going to be difficult to get a first page ranking for it, or if no one's searching for it and it's not very competitive, it's not a good term. And so that's where our keyword research will help us find those terms and choose the best ones. So the question becomes then, how do you find those words? You certainly don't want to be like my picture we saw a second ago, just lying in the weeds, lying in the grass with your binoculars searching and searching for them. We want to use our competitive intelligence and actually know what people are searching for, not just guess. And that can actually be difficult sometimes as business owners because we are so close to our subject matter. How we think about the business a lot of times is not how actual prospects and clients think about our business. So that's also where keyword research can help us, because it can help us point to areas that we had never thought of, or terms that we had never thought of using about our business. So how do you do your keyword research? There's a lot of great free as well as paid tools out there. Probably the best free tool, and where you definitely want to start at, is the Google Keywords tool. You see a screenshot of it here on my display, and I'm going to go ahead and actually pull it up in my browser as well so we can see a demo of how that works. So here in the search box, it's got a really long URL. I'll actually post a worksheet up after this presentation with the video that will have instructions on how to do full instructions on how to do keyword research. But first we need to find the Google keyword tool, and that URL is really long, so we're just going to do a Google search for keyword tool. And you'll see it's the very first item that comes up in our search words. Here we're looking for the AdWords. This tool is actually created for people creating ads on Google to help them find the most lucrative keywords for their ads. We don't have to use it for that purpose. We can use it to find those lucrative keywords and embed them in our website instead. So looks just like our screenshot a second ago. We've got this box here, which is where we're going to enter our word or phrase. And then we're going to just go ahead and search, and we'll see our results below. So just to give you a little background, when you're looking for keywords, you want to start with a seed list. So that's going to be a list of broad terms related to your business or industry. So for instance, like in my business, it would be marketing, it would be internet marketing, it would be branding, kind of those big high level, maybe graphic or website design things that I do. The best place to get seed words is to look at your competitors' websites. You can actually do a little competitive searching, look at what keywords they're using, ask your clients, your customers, your families, and your friends how they would search to find your business. Use those words, and then also the words that you think of yourself. Put that on a master list. You'll probably start with a list of between 20 and 50 words. Pick the top 5 or 10 to do your search with. This does take some time, so you don't want to start with too broad a list. You'll easily get overwhelmed. But start with your first 5 or 10, put them in your Google keyword tool here, and start finding some keywords for your site. So for instance, if I was going to be writing about blogging, I would put the word blogging as my broad phrase, and you do want to keep it broad. You don't want to be too specific. If you start out too specific, you're going to really narrow your options. By starting broad, you'll get some of those more specific terms, but you may get ones you never considered. So you definitely want to think larger here, not smaller. So instead of doing something really specific with blogging, like blogging for business, we're just going to put the term blogging, because what this is going to do is I am going to check this only search show ideas closely related, because we don't want to go cast too wide a net, but this is going to show me any phrase that people have searched in Google in the last 30 days using the word blogging. So there could be words before or after it, but as long as the word blogging was also in there, it's going to show me that. So you can see where a broad term will show you quite a few options. You do have to enter your little security code in here one time, and that's just to help prevent spam. And then you hit your search button, and then it goes out, it searches for those terms. You'll see here blogging is the very first one that comes up. As we scroll across, we see where it shows the competition as a bar chart. So the lower this little green area is here, that's going to mean less competition. The closer it is to the edge, it means higher. So this one actually, and as you hover over it, you'll see it'll actually tell you, shows low competition. So blogging actually isn't a very competitive term, which is interesting. And then if you look at the global and the monthly local searches, there's quite a few. Now global depending on your business, may or may not be relevant to you. Local is actually referring to the country United States. You actually cannot refine it any closer than that other than just United States. So really that's probably what most people are going to be looking at is who within this country are searching this. So there's 200,000 searches a month for the word blogging, and it's probably about 20% competitive. So that actually might not be a bad term to optimize after if it's very relevant to what you're writing about on your website. You can actually sort these columns by the number of searches, so we can go highest to lowest searches or highest to lowest competition depending on how you want to look at it. So when we do find a term that we like that's not real competitive, that has a decent number of searches, we're just going to go ahead and check that one to select it. So blogging would be one. How to start blogging, a little bit more competitive. We're getting to the medium range, but still decent number of searches. Might be great topic if you've got a blog on blogging to write a page about that. Make money blogging, again, not too bad. Let's go ahead and reverse our search here so we can see things by the lowest competition. So like here, a piece of software suitable for blogging, you can see is actually really pretty competitive and has only 73 searches a year. So this would be one that we would entirely want to disregard. Oh, it looks like let's reverse search our competition. So here you've got blogging and espionage, which I assume means spying on other people's blogs. No competition at all, only 800 local monthly searches. That one that's kind of out there, so unless it's relevant to you, you may want to disregard that. However, this one here, blogging tips, 4,000 searches a month, only about 10-15% competitive, definitely worth a look. Would lend itself very well to an article. So essentially what you're going to do is you're going to sort through this list that provides you and start checking the ones that you think would be good. So not very competitive, decent amount of searches. You may also select some that are more competitive but have a high number of searches if they are really relevant. So again, going back to our insurance example, if you're an insurance agent, just because the terms homeowners, auto, and life insurance are very competitive doesn't mean you won't use them as keywords on your site, but that means you're also going to need to supplement those with some of the other ones that we found in order to rank well, because the chance of ranking only on those is very slim, but having those on there because they are really relevant and appropriate to your business still makes sense. But we want to look for other terms that we can hopefully get more traffic in addition to those. And over time, your ranking for those will improve as people link to you and view you for other search terms. So once we've selected the terms we wanted, so maybe we want this get paid for blogging or free blogging website, some of these other ones, we're going to, once we've got all the ones selected that we'd like to keep, we're going to go ahead and download those. So we can download just the starred ones. And we're going to go ahead and save that as a CSV file, which we'll see shows up on my desktop right here, which I can then open in Excel and further sort and refine that data. And so this is going to be what we're going to collect at the end of the day, is we want to collect these Excel spreadsheets with all of our keywords in them, because once we've got them all together, we'll start figuring out which ones we actually want to use on our website. Now, just a quick note on this report here. So this first column shows you the competition here. Instead of a bar chart, a number, and just think of this as a percentage. So this is about 30%. Then you've got your total number of searches, global and monthly. These columns here you can ignore. They're basically for doing ad revenue and that sort of thing. We really don't need those, so we can just delete those right out. The other thing we see here that's kind of interesting is it's showing us search volume by month. And how this can help us is if we find one that's seasonal, say it peaks in, and these are all pretty even, although it looks like it peaked in January for searches. So maybe we would want to wait to start using this blogging keyword term till January of next year, if it makes sense. You can see they're still pretty all even, so maybe not so much. A good example there is like for real estate agents here in Arizona, we know people don't really search a lot for homes in the summertime. So if there's a time of year where it's dead, you may see a peak, or you may see a valley in the summertime. So you may not want to be blogging so much about terms related to buying a new home in the summertime, just because people don't do it here because of the heat. But that may be a topic you save for the winter. So again, seasonal kind of things, or if you're in retail. But it just can help you see trends, help you plan out your content, when to use these keywords.